Hey guys, welcome to another video about learning. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Daniela and I make videos about learning English and living in the US. But of course, the methods that I share with you can be applied to learning other languages as well. Today, I'm going to talk about the hierarchy of competence, which is often visualized as a pyramid with 4 stages of learning. The goal of the learner is to complete each stage and move to the next without skipping anything in the previous stage. And the ultimate goal, of course, is to climb up to the top and reach stage 4. Let's go step by step over each of the stages. The first stage is called unconscious incompetence. This is the lowest level of the pyramid. When we are at this stage, we don't realize our ignorance. In other words, we don't know what we don't know. People are usually at this stage in the very beginning when they start learning something new, a sport, a language, or any other new skill. During this stage, we make many mistakes, but we're completely unaware of them because we're beginners and we don't know any better. But the moment when someone points out the mistakes we make or become aware of them in any other way, we enter stage number 2, which is conscious incompetence. Reaching this second stage means that we've made the transition from complete beginners to the intermediate stage of learning. Here, we start being aware of the mistakes we make, maybe with the help of a teacher or maybe on our own. But the point is that in this stage, we realize that there is a lot we still don't know. We start consciously working to improve and eliminate the mistakes we make, and we enter the next stage, which is conscious competence. Okay, now we are at stage number 3. In this stage, we have a strong proficiency in our chosen topic. For example, if you've been learning English for a while and you don't make many mistakes anymore, you have probably reached the conscious competence stage. But while we don't make the mistakes we used to make, we still need to focus and use a lot of mental effort. In other words, we remember what used to be confusing, we know how to make it right, but it still takes a certain amount of mental energy to perform at a high level. However, if we keep repeating long enough the skill we have acquired, it eventually becomes automatic and we enter the last stage of learning. And this is stage number 4, unconscious competence. In this stage, we're officially masters in the skill. Not only have we built a high level of proficiency, but we do it so effortlessly that we don't have to think about it anymore. At this stage, we've built the muscle memory we need and the skill has become automatic. Reaching this stage is the ultimate goal of every learner because performing the skill, for example, speaking in English, is now easy and painless. But the challenges on the road to reaching unconscious competence seem so hard that many people give up when they're still in stage 2 or 3. When it comes to becoming fluent in English, I've seen students who want to jump through stages 2 and 3 too quickly, and this impatience doesn't serve them well. When they enter stage 2 and start realizing that they make mistakes, many of them get discouraged and frustrated. This in turn slows them down because when they are frustrated, they feel less motivated. And when they're less motivated, they don't pay attention to important details. According to recent studies, attention and motivation are crucial in determining the capacity of the working memory you can have. If you want to read more about it, I'll leave the link in the description box below. But in a nutshell, the more attention your brain can give to a task, the more working memory you have. But if you start beating yourself over the mistakes you make, you are unable to focus on learning. In such cases, it's important to let go of your inner critic and trust that mistakes are a normal part of the learning process. When students reach stage 3, the conscious competence stage, they don't make the mistakes they made during stage 2, the conscious incompetence stage. But because they still have to think about the correct form and focus on not making these mistakes, they often feel tired and sometimes prefer not to speak at all. But this stage can't be skipped because it's an essential part of the road to the higher stage, the unconscious competence. Okay, now let's talk about what happens after we reach stage number 4. Although having reached this stage means that we're able to perform our skills automatically, there is still a risk of slipping back into a previous stage. For example, when we're under a great amount of pressure, we can start doubting our abilities and overthink everything we do. This leads to what scientists call choking. Choking under pressure is caused by stress, worry, and anxiety and leads to underperformance in the most important moment. For instance, imagine you had studied for an exam, but you're so anxious right before it that you panic and forget some of the key points that you learned. Here is another scenario. You're a talented baseball player. By the way, you can choose any other sport, and you have a chance to play for a world-class team. You know that this team's coach is watching you play, and he will make his decision based on what he sees at this very moment. You want to perform at your best, and you start paying attention to every single move you make. But because you start overthinking, you regress to a lower learning stage. Suddenly, you feel like a beginner again, and you start making mistakes you haven't made for a long time. In other words, you choke. But you might ask, if reaching the unconscious competence stage means that we have acquired the desired skills, how do we keep learning? Well, regressing to stage 3, the conscious competence, is not always bad. It's actually important as long as it's done in a controlled fashion. Stepping back from what you have learned to do automatically and being able to analyze it allows you to improve your skills. This is how you're able to correct anything that needs correction and become even better. But this needs to happen after your performance, not during it. It's crucial to be able to remain at stage 4 during the most important moments like exams, presentations in English, job interviews, etc. The ability to remain at the unconscious competence stage in key moments requires many hours of practice and repetition. Also, learning what physically happens in your brain could help you control your thoughts better. I actually have another video about what happens inside your brain when you're anxious or afraid to speak English. Make sure to check it out because it's based on scientific research and understanding it can really help you control your mind. I'll leave the link in the description box. But just remember, there are no shortcuts. Be patient, do the work, don't overthink, and keep going. By the way, do you know what stage you're at when it comes to your English? Let me know in the comments below. Okay guys, I know this was a lot of information, but it's really important for you to know the 4 stages of learning so that you don't give up or get discouraged on your way to fluency. If you found this video helpful, click on the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.